Senator Blumenthal thought this would be easy. Let's analyze it.
Yes.
So let me test your independence. Who won the 2020 election?
Now, during a Senate hearing, Blumenthal was trying to corner a Trump nominee with one gotcha after another, until he realized his routine wasn't landing and moved to even worse rapid-fire questions. And today, we're covering it all. So if you believe truth isn't partisan, hit the subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
Mr. Berthiaume, you are nominated for one of the most critical jobs in the United States government, which is to assure the independence and integrity of the Department of Justice. Would you agree with me that independence is absolutely essential in that role?
Independence is absolutely essential to the Office of the Inspector General's role, yes.
And you've served as Inspector General, or you've been involved in Inspector General activities in other departments, correct?
I've been part of the Inspector General community for almost 16 years now.
And you would agree with me that resisting weaponization or politicization of the Department of Justice will be a critical part of your role?
I think it's a critical part of the Office of Inspector General's role to assess and evaluate the department's functioning of its responsibilities, yes.
So let me test your independence. Who won the 2020 election?
This is the kind of question only Blumenthal can ask with a straight face while thinking he's being slick about it. The Trump nominee is Don Berthiaume, and he's a pretty competent pick if you look at the resume. Within the DOJ alone, he served as investigative counsel for the Office of Inspector General in 2010, became senior counsel to Michael Horowitz in 2023, and now serves as acting Inspector General while awaiting confirmation. Even the Associated Press acknowledged his experience, where they talked about his role in the Crossfire Hurricane Review, which exposed serious FBI surveillance warrant errors in the Trump-Russia investigation, on top of, quote, exposing improper hiring of relatives and friends by senior leaders of the U.S. Marshal Service, and probing a botched investigation into U.S. firearms traffickers suspected of selling grenades to Mexican cartels. Whew. That's a lot more than Blumenthal has ever done, if you ask me. But let's take a look at how Don handled the senator's gotchas.
Who won the 2020 election?
Joe Biden, as certified by the Senate.
No, Mr. Berthiaume. Who won the 2020 election? We have seen that script. By the way, you should check with the White House. That script has been abandoned. They have a new one.
Well, my understanding from the 2020 election is we had an election.
And
Joe
who won
Biden
it?
Joe Biden was certified the winner of that election. That is a fact.
Who won the popular vote?
From what I recall in reporting at the time, that was Joe Biden.
And who won the Electoral College in the 2020 election?
Again, my recollection, and he served as president, Joe Biden would have been certified the winner of the Electoral College vote as well.
Did you discuss your answers to these questions with the White House before coming here today?
No.
Now, he didn't say anything controversial. Joe Biden was indeed certified by the Senate as the winner of the 2020 election, which is simply a matter of public record. The thing is, Blumenthal is throwing these types of questions at someone who already worked in the Biden administration, although at the staff level. Plus, his former boss was Horowitz, one of the few figures in Washington who has earned credibility across party lines after being appointed to different positions by both Republican and Democratic presidents. Does anyone seriously believe someone of his caliber could choose an ideologue as a senior counsel? Absolutely not. But leave it to Blumenthal to waste everyone's time with his terrible line of questioning. And when he didn't get what he wanted, he started implying Don's responses had been scripted by the White House. And it didn't end there, as the next item on the independence checklist was January 6th.
Let me ask you, was the Capitol attacked on January 6th?
I don't know if I would use the term attacked. I mean, we had activity outside the Capitol.
That there was activity outside the Capitol on January 6th. Was it attacked? You've seen the videos. You're supposed to be the Inspector General. Capitol Police were injured. Some died. Was the Capitol attacked?
So again, it's more a term that you're using, attacked. There was protest activity. There was violence on Capitol grounds. Those people were prosecuted.
Well, there was protest activity?
There was protest activity. People went to the Capitol grounds. People entered the Capitol building, which is contrary, as far as I know, to law.
But you wouldn't agree with me that the Capitol was attacked?
I just don't agree with the term attack. When I think of attack,
Were
I think of
police
assaulting.
officers attacked on that day?
There was physical violence outside the Capitol that day.
But the Capitol Police weren't attacked?
Now, to be fair, he described what happened without using the exact language Blumenthal wanted him to use. And whether we like it or not, this is one of those issues where Republicans and Democrats are never going to see eye to eye. One side insists on calling it an insurrection, even though nobody was ultimately charged with that specific crime. The other side points to figures like Ray Epps and argues it was an inside job, though that theory was likely never proven. Like most political debates, the reality is probably more complicated than either side wants to admit. Fox News actually found a clever way around it by referencing to January 6 as the, quote, Capitol riot attack, which is hard for anyone to object to, if you ask me. But by this point, Blumenthal realized his gotcha questions weren't getting him anywhere, so he changed tactics and launched into a rapid-fire round instead.
And I hope my colleagues will agree that the Inspector General of the Department of Justice should recognize reality and facts for what they are and be willing to call them out for what they are. Let me ask you, can you assure me, if you're confirmed, that your office will conduct a thorough investigation into allegations that Director Patel engaged in drinking and absences that have interfered with his ability to do his job?
What I can commit to is to assess the allegations, run them through the analysis that we do, and we're going to decide whether or not to open up a case. And we'll see if there's work to do in that arena.
Will you agree to engage in investigation of the retaliatory firings of agents at the FBI?
Again, what I will do is we'll assess whether or not there's an arena for there to take action.
And what about loyalty tests at the FBI? Will you review and investigate the use of loyalty tests there?
Again, we'll assess all allegations and we'll run them through our process and see if there's work for us to do there.
Now those are the kinds of questions Blumenthal should have spent his time on, because the DOJ Inspector General is going to have plenty on his plate in the years ahead. Democrats keep raising concerns about the department's independence, and this is one of the few positions that can actually investigate those claims and present evidence to the public. In other words, if they truly believe there's a problem, this office would be one of their strongest tools for proving it. Instead, they burn valuable time rehashing political fights from 6 years ago, as if forcing a nominee to repeat certain talking points somehow answers the bigger questions facing the department today.